10 famous people who have intentionally quit porn and why. I'm Dr. Trish Leigh. Let's talk about it because I want you to know that if you struggle with pornography and going back for more and you want out, you are not alone because there are 10 famous people. I'm sure there's a ton more, but there's 10 that are willing to admit it online all the time that they admit that they needed to get out because it was blocking their ability to reach their full potential. And I love that, which is why I want you to know if you don't know this already. So, number one, Russell Brand. I love Russell Brand. Either you love him or you hate him, I think at least. But he has a book called Recovery. It's totally an awesome book, but I will warn you, he uses the F word a lot. And if that bothers you, it's not the book for you. If that doesn't bother you and you like him, it's a really great book because he talks about recovery from many compulsions and addictions, from food to sex and pornography to drinking to, harder drug use. So it's really a cool book about his experience, but also about his recovery because he's been sober from all those things for a really long time. Super cool. Check him out. He always has a lot of Instagram posts. He's all over the place right now, messaging about recovery and becoming the best version of yourself through positive habits and routines and thought processes and breaking all the habits that keep you down. So check him out. Number two, Hugh Grant. Who doesn't love Hugh Grant? I know some of you are going, I don't love him. But Hugh Grant, if you remember, back when he was in a serious relationship and he was found in a car with a prostitute, he has admitted that's because he was using a lot of pornography at that time. And we know from the science that for many people, an intense pornography habit can escalate into hiring people to do those acts with you because you see him on the screen so often, and many times your partner doesn't want to because it's performance, not experience. Those acts mainly aren't things that would be pleasurable at all to women. Actually, they'd be painful and harmful probably. So people will act out with prostitutes or will have affairs with other people, and he's one of those people. Kanye West, again, love him or hate him, but he has obviously been very successful. And I have a quote from him where he says, "Playboy was my gateway into full-blown pornography addiction. My dad had a Playboy left out at age 5, and it's affected almost every choice I made for the rest of my life. From age 5 to now, having to kick the habit, and it just presents itself in the open like it's okay. And I stand up and say, it's not okay." And I think that's so cool because he shares that it was available to him when he was very young, and that because now society is saying it's okay, he wants people to know it's not okay because he's spent his entire life trying to get out from underneath it. So, not okay. Lamar Odom, who is a NBA champion player, he has come out and has said that it has twisted his perception of love and of intimacy and of sex, in that it has created a massive loss of time for him. And I know that resonates with a lot of people, that it is time lost, productivity down the drain, time spent in relationships down the drain, time having fun and engaging in real world life experiences that can add to the joy here on our time on this marble spinning in space, that is what was stolen from him, and it was making for perverse perception at the same time. Orlando Bloom, a quote from him that says, "They've done the studies. They can't find any kids who don't watch it. When you watch multiple people at multiple times in one evening, how is it your actual real life partner going to match up?" He noted it's just so destructive. And he, again, is on that road to recovery. He abstained and had got out from underneath it and is moving on to create healthy intimacy and move into the future. Josh Radner, who is from How I Met Your Mother, he says that reports of chronic porn watchers detoxing off porn mirrors classic drug withdrawal. Shakes, sweating, insomnia, depression, inability to focus, suicidal ideation, etc. There are those who say there's no such thing as a pornography addiction and that watching porn is harmless. History will not be kind to those people. They'll be the doctors from the 50s in the cigarette ads. And I think about this all the time in terms of a pornography addiction, how it's so much like smoking, where back in the day, my husband brought it up the other day. He said he was watching the space movie, I forget what it is, with Tom Hanks, and that everybody in NASA is in the control center, everybody smoking, because the dangers weren't pointed out using science. And now we know that smoking is controlled. People can still choose to do it, even though it's proven to cause throat cancer and lung cancer and death. But people can still do it, but it's regulated, that people can't do it when they're young. And most people have chosen not to do it, not to smoke anymore, because the dangers are just so widespread known. And that will be the case with pornography in hopefully just a few years, but definitely 10, 20, 30, 40 years, as we see the ramifications of the excessive use globally that will come out as effects. Okay, moving on. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he says he was severely addicted to internet porn, and he openly admits that real women and real sex can never compare to porn. And we know that from the science. We know it's a super normal stimulus, not meaning super fantastic, meaning much more than normal levels that can never be found in the real world. And so what that creates for people, if you keep going back for more and more and more, is the need to go back for more and more and more, because it can't be found in the world. But again, it is not healthy for you. It's destructive. Tiger Woods. We know that Tiger Woods had a sex addiction and that he had affairs and he was with multiple people, and he contributes that to pornography use. I love Tiger Woods. I think he's a massive comeback kid. Recovery of the year when he won the Masters last year. Super cool. Jason Castro, I don't know if I'd include him as massively famous, but do you remember him from American Idol? He did an amazing rendition of Hallelujah. He says that it almost destroyed his marriage because it twisted the dynamics between him and his spouse, and that he has quit intentionally because of those negative effects. And number 10 is my favorite. If you're going to spend any time going online to see any person who is famous who has decided intentionally to quit pornography, it's Terry Crews. He was an NFL player, and now he is a personality on TV, and he's totally awesome. He has a really awesome Facebook video that went viral, where in it he says some people say that it's not an addiction, but if night turns to day and you're still watching, you have a problem, and that was me. That's what he says about it. And his relationship almost was destroyed with his wife, who ended up supporting him. He went into inpatient rehab and was able to recover. And he has a quote that I'm going to read. "My issue was and is with pornography is that it changes the way you think about people. People become objects. People become body parts. They become things to be used rather than people to be loved." And you should check out some of his videos because they're pretty awesome and inspiring. And the fact that he could clean himself up and move on and become a voice is really, really awesome. Okay, you are not alone in this journey. If this is something that you want to kick to the curb and overcome this habit so that you can become the best version of yourself, then there are other people who have forged the way for you, and I'm hoping to provide videos that will help you. And if you're looking for help in a more personal way, you can jump on over to my website at drtrishleigh.com, because there's different programs of different sizes and shapes and different levels of investment and levels of us interacting. So go check them out, because I'm here for you. I got your back. I want you to be able to succeed in this journey. Okay, and remember, control your brain or it'll control you.